Good morning. It is 11 a.m. here in Bangkok and the beginning of another wonderful day. Great weather as always, but we are moving into the hot season now, so sleeping at night can be a little bit difficult. Bangkok is still okay when we have a breeze and when you can find some shade, as I have done now. But if you have to walk in these big main roads with the sun burning your skin, it is really not very pleasant. Yesterday was a horrible day. I had to go to the other side of Bangkok to do some business. I spent around 2 hours in taxis going there and back, spending over 600 baht, and I really hate this experience. Sitting in traffic jams in Bangkok is one of the most unpleasant aspects of living here, but fortunately I rarely have to do it. To make things worse, I think the taxi driver on the way back took a very long and tortuous route. I ended up getting angry and complaining about his inability to find a fast route in Bangkok. Because I had to spend most of the day doing business, I changed my normal routine of exercise and eating. So I ate much later, around 7 p.m. and this led to me getting to sleep much later than normal, and consequently not sleeping so well. So this morning I woke up feeling tired. I really feel sorry for people who have to do this every day, travel by taxi or bus long distances in Bangkok. When I was sitting in the taxi, I found myself falling asleep. I don't think this was because I was tired. I think it was because the air is so bad in the roads in Bangkok, and also because I was sedentary. If I am moving around, walking or doing some exercise, I don't really feel sleepy. But if I have to sit in a taxi or a bus for a long time, then I begin to fall asleep. I notice many other people doing this as well. And this really is terrible for the body. It is much healthier to be able to move around. Sometimes this both feels better and also makes your body stronger. I felt angry yesterday because I was pulled into a lifestyle which I really hate. Sitting around, spending long periods, sitting in vehicles, waiting in queues, going through bureaucratic procedures. Unfortunately, these things for most people are part of their everyday life and they cannot avoid them. This was the life I used to have when I lived in London and worked in finance. And that was one of the reasons why I gave up that life and decided to move to Thailand to get out of those terrible daily routines which are damaging to the body and the mind. I think in a perfect world we would have very little of these experiences in our lives, and it is a real shame that society has created these systems which we now take for granted as a normal part of living. Today things are back to normal, and I am back into the healthy routine which I like: walking, exercising, cooking my own food, not spending any time sitting in stuffy vehicles or waiting in queues, wasting my time doing something I really hate. Ironically, those things which I had to do yesterday, which I hated, also cost me a lot of money. Whereas today, the things which I love to do mostly don't cost me anything. It seems weird that society has created a system where we have to pay to receive pain. We have to pay to involve ourselves in activities which are unhealthy for the body and the mind. So most people spend time working, doing a job they don't like to make money, to then get involved in activities which they don't like and which are maybe harmful to them. People spend hours sitting at desks working on computers. Then they spend hours sitting on a bus, falling asleep, and maybe then to get some relief from this stress, they may go to an expensive restaurant and buy a load of junk food so that they can get fat and unhealthy. I think you can see clearly that you need to be very careful not to fall into the same trap as other people and become a robot following systems created by society which will make you mentally and physically unhealthy, make you a prisoner of a crazy world. When I go to bed at night, I like to reflect on the day and see whether I had done things which I had wanted to do and whether I had to do other things which I didn't want to do. Mostly I find myself reflecting on a day where I had control over my activities and was able to lead a physically and mentally healthy life. Then I feel satisfied and content. And I think you should also do this. At the end of every day, you should look back on the day and ask yourself, did I do the things I really wanted to do? Was I forced into doing things which I really didn't want to do? More importantly, was I free to make my own choices? If you look back on your day and you see that you spent loads of time in harmful, wasteful, destructive, negative activities, maybe you need to review your life. Bye for now.